Grand Rising to the collective. Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop an upload. Y'all know we coming with them 4 videos a week, man. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger. It helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I ain't gonna hold you, man. I hope y'all having a smooth 7. I love y'all, man. I love doing these videos. I try to tell y'all that every single time. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Not a female.
And now you're transitioning.
Yeah.
How is that?
I really enjoy it.
Okay.
I just didn't think I could ever do it. And then finally I got the confidence to say, you know, I'm going to try it. Okay. It is a different language, and it is a whole different experience. And I think having a team that you really trust to help make these decisions and doing what really feels right. Mm-hmm. And when you want to take your time away, you know, because, you know, you have kids, it just has to be so much fun. You know, it started off as something that was a challenge to myself.
Kim Kardashian comes out as a trans man in new exclusive interview on Pride Month today. She says she's currently transitioning to become the man she's always wanted to be. She says she never thought she would be able to do it and come out, but says she's very lucky to be surrounded by friends and family that support her decision. The TV reality star, 43, currently in transition to become a man, also says he now goes by they, him pronouns and asks everyone to respect his decision and try to be open-minded. This comes as a shock for most of our fans who have been following the Kardashian series since 2007, as well as her journey through becoming a famous businesswoman. Many fans think that she's just hopping on a trend, while other fans say that this is very unlikely and shocking, but they will try to support him even through the chaos.
So it is June 7th, and it is snowing here in Fort McKay. Look at that. Happy summer.
Damn, does it snow anywhere in June? It don't snow here at all.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but there were 3 shark attacks that happened within 90 minutes in Florida, as well as thousands of sharks that are swarming one area, and just a million other things when it comes to ocean phenomena right now. And it has me thinking about the Leviathan. And I've been following this weird blob that has been popping up on the coast of Africa on and off for a few months now, and it is unexplained and no one knows what it is. And things like this, a rare 7-foot fish that washed ashore on Oregon's coast. And then people start seeing things like orcas in the Gulf of Mexico. And this was just yesterday, right around the same time those shark attacks happened. And Leviathan is actually referenced in the book of Enoch, something that I've been telling you guys to read since all these coincidences have been coming out surrounding the movie The Watchers, who are also in the book of Enoch. I'm going to read to you the excerpt out of the book of Enoch that talks about Leviathan. And some people say it could be global warming or whatever the case may be, but it's biblical. We have been seeing a lot of biblical stuff. So in chapter 60 of the book of Enoch, verse 7, it says, "And on that day were 2 monsters parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the water. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his beast a waste wilderness named Dudian, on the east of the gardens where the elect and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the 7th from Adam, the first man who the Lord of spirits created. And I besought the other angel that he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day, and cast the one into the abyss of the sea, and the other onto dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, Thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. And then they went on to show Enoch what was hidden in the Leviathan. Also, if you do not have that book, it's literally in my TikTok shop, the exact one if you're interested in reading the book of Enoch. And there are also Jewish sources that describe the Leviathan as a dragon who lives over the sources of the deep. And this female Leviathan is least in multiplying the species, should destroy the world. But it is said that that female will be slain and reserving her flesh for the banquet that will be given to the righteous of the advent of the Messiah. And this is a giant ass female snake monster thing. You couple that with all the shit that I've been seeing literally in just the last couple of days, and that blob that we have been following for months, and no one knows what it is.
You know, we saw that one video of the sawfish coming up to the shore, and then we saw other clips of the orcas coming up to shore. That made me think maybe they running from something. And maybe, and we did see the blob under the radar off the coastlines of Africa. And it keeps showing up and it keeps disappearing. And it keeps showing up and it keeps disappearing. And that made me question, like, what if that is the Leviathan? Or what if it's something else? What if it's just another, I don't know, giant fish, giant something, and it's out there in the water, like a megalodon, something. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. But what if it's something out there and all those fish is running away from it? So that's why they coming to shore. Sharks coming to shore, sawfish coming to shore. Like, what if that's the case? What if that's the reason? I don't know. I seen a video of a woman saying that the water is getting hot, and that's why all the sea life is starting to go up north and stuff. I don't think that's the case. I think they're running from something. And if they running from something, it's the Leviathan. And I'm going to go ahead and get that book. That's probably what I'm going to do right after I'm done editing and everything today. I'm probably going to have to get that book. And I know some of y'all been telling me to read it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to trust y'all. I'm going to go check her TikTok shop. I'm going to buy it from there. How y'all feel about Kim? Crazy. I thought the bridge was closed with that. Just a truck was driving over it.
So in the song President Carter by Lil Wayne, he says some really cryptic stuff in a monologue to finish the song. It goes like this: guerrillas in suits, the holy war, the spiritual troops, fighting over the mythical truth, drowning in the political soup. They shoot missiles and nukes, taking out such a pivotal group. The body count is the physical proof, and they thought drugs were killing the youth. Ha ha. It kind of makes me think that maybe he knows something we don't. Or maybe it just goes along with the theme of the song. Who knows?
Let me tell y'all something about Weezy. If y'all ain't know, man, Wayne is a smart dude. Don't let the looks fool you. Dude's a smart dude. Wayne's a smart dude. That's a smart man. Just listen to the stuff he say and how he say it. Just to use metaphors the way he use it. Now, I'm not saying he not a part of the group over there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he is. What I'm saying right now, my one and only point I'm making is talent. He's talented. And he's very bright. Very intelligent. You just gotta listen to the dude. You just gotta listen to the dude. The metaphors he come up with tells you he's a smart man. It tells you. It tells you. That song is a little bit of both, what he's saying. He says it's something he just goes with the theme, or is he telling you something? It's a little bit of both. And I remember when I heard that song, I was working at Amtrak at that point. I was working at Amtrak. And I remember when I heard it, I was like, damn, that's a hard song. I still listen to that song. He was telling us something. He was telling us something. Y'all spam it up what y'all feel.
What are they in a frenzy about?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to fall in the water right now.
Golly. Look at all of them.
You want to go swimming?
What's the deal with that? I ain't never seen that either.
I've seen it, but that's a lot of medium.
The black tip, I see this one's got black tip.
That does look like a black tip.
Y'all ever seen that many all at once like that?
Not really.
Damn.
Right there.
Get out of the water! Get out!
ready to show you a picture of a full-body apparition, and this could be the clearest picture I've ever seen. This following story and picture was submitted by one of my followers who lives just a little bit outside of Atlanta, Georgia. 2012, this lady and her husband and kids moved into a new house around Oxford, Georgia. And she said her husband worked and he was on the road and gone a lot. So as they were moving in, she invited her mom and some cousins over to help her get settled in. Around 3 a.m., her mom come busting through her bedroom door, terrified. She said that she was sitting on the couch talking on the phone, and she could feel someone sat down on the opposite end of the couch. As she turned around to look, she said there was actually a man sitting there. And she wanted to go home immediately, so she took her home and actually ended up spending the night with her because she was so scared. She started doing some research and discovered that people had actually passed away in this house and that it was built either on or close to some former battles of the Civil War. Around 5 a.m. most mornings you could smell bacon, like if someone was frying bacon in the kitchen while everyone was in bed. And she said one of her daughters said, "You don't have to be scared, that's Mr. Thomas." This was pretty frightening, obviously. But she said later on, while going through the attic, she did discover some mail addressed to a man with that name. One day she was home alone and she had just gotten out of the shower. She was getting ready to go to college, some of her classes, and she heard sounded like dishes breaking in the kitchen. She was just wrapped in a towel, but she was on the phone with her mom. And she said, "I think someone's in the house." And she actually went to discover a bunch of her dishes in the kitchen was broken. She was afraid someone had broken in, but she didn't see anybody, so she just made her way back to her room. And she said upon going into her bedroom, she heard a noise behind her. And when she turned around, she said something had just launched a baby bottle in her direction. She was so frightened, she ran out of the house in her towel, and she said she didn't return until later that night. Her oldest daughter reported playing with a little girl named Melody, and this little girl sounded like something straight out of a horror movie. She had blood on her face and just really dark eyes, and she didn't like parents either. She said that something bad might happen to them if they didn't leave the house. There was a lady spirit in the house who was about 7 feet tall, and she would sometimes attack her children at night. One of her kids even claimed that there was a ghost in their bedroom closet who would try to lure them into the closet at night. And just a lot of maniacal, evil, just off-putting stuff in this house. One day she said she was getting ready. She was trying to get the kids ready. They were going to a family cookout, a barbecue. And as they're getting ready to walk out the doors, that you could spin all the way around in their living room. And she looked, and there was just this creepy little boy spinning in this chair. And it ran out the door about the same time her kids exited the house. Lights would come on and off. You could hear phantom footsteps, just loud banging all the time in this house. She and her husband ended up splitting up, but her husband kept the house, and all of her kids still report seeing things even today. But now I'm going to show you the picture she submitted, and it's actually one with her kids when they were small. They were sitting, I'm guessing, with her ex-husband or some gentleman. But she didn't want me to show her kids in the video, and I want to respect her wishes, so I cropped them out. But you can clearly see a figure sitting on the couch with her children. Check this out. So here's the picture. You can see the knee and the arm of the man holding her children on the left side, but you can clearly see what I believe a female apparition sitting on the couch with them. It's very clear. I've never honestly seen one this clear, but tell me what you think in the comments. You guys have a great day. God bless.
Is it real or is it fake?
He came to see me on a rooftop in New York. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And he said, "Sure." And he floated in sideways through a crowd of people. He was wearing black. And it was like one of those old vampire movies where they don't walk, but they glide. And he was a dancer, so he has he's very, graceful. Yeah. And he moved sideways, and he just sat down in a chair next to me. And it kind of frightened me. And he's a very smart guy. And we started talking, and I didn't, say much of anything about reading the script, nothing. I just started talking about the Middle Ages, and he began to talk tortures. And we swapped tortures because I'd read this book on torture, and I tried to recall some of the most heinous things I'd ever read in this book, and he was like, oh, and he'd try and top it, and and my assistant was there, and he left because he couldn't stand it anymore. Yeah. The air had turned cold, and then he left, and I wanted to leave, and because I knew that I didn't want to work with him. Yeah. And he was getting scary. Yeah. And then I turned around, and it was on top of the Peninsula Hotel. I turned around to avoid his steady gaze at one point, and I was looking at a building with the top of the sixes on it. So there was a huge illuminated 666 in red. Yeah. And I went from that to that to that, and he started smiling. And I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist.
This election is not about age, but it's about character. So you have two choices. You have my husband, Joe, who you all know, who has integrity. He's strong, he's steady, he's a leader, he's smart, he's energetic. Or you have chaos. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. I believe that Americans are going to choose good over evil.
Okay, so, Madam First Lady, respectfully, it's very bold of you to sit here and talk about good and evil, given your husband has demonized half of the country and continues to do so while prosecuting his political opponent. Now, Joe has been in politics for 48 years, including his presidency. Yet you have nothing to show for. Otherwise, you would have spent your time here talking about his actual accomplishments instead of saying empty words. And finally, I agree. This election is not about age. It is about being able to walk without getting lost. It is about being able to find your way off a stage. It is about being able to go up and down the stairs without falling. It is about being able to finish a sentence, all of which Joe is not able to do on a daily basis. I have seen it. People out there have seen it. Even Whoopi has seen it. I wish you were honest about it. And most importantly, you have seen it. We all know Joe is not well. We all know he's not in control. And listen, I'm not a fan of his, but I would say you should be ashamed of yourself for putting him through this and letting his handlers abuse him like a puppet. Shame on you.
Well, he ate her ass up, if that was real. But, y'all, we know, it looked like he was, yeah, y'all get what I mean. That was a fake video, but he had strong points. I also want to say, hearing him talk about, Mel Gibson talk about the Antichrist, that's crazy for one, but it reminds me, I just saw a movie called 10 and Tina, or Tina and 10. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Check the movie out. Dope movie. Dope movie. Crazy, though. Check it out. 10 and Tina. Like T-I-N and Tina. Or Tina and 10. They twins in a movie. It's crazy.
Good morning, commissioners. Today I come here asking for your help, but first a little backstory. I think we all remember the Challenger explosion that took place in 1986 that tragically took the lives of all 7 astronauts on board. It launched not too far from where we're standing here today. Well, the interesting thing is, a couple decades later, this thing called the internet came about, and someone allegedly found almost all of those astronauts alive and well, many using the same exact names. As you can see here, we have Challenger astronaut Judith Resnick, and also a Judith Resnick Yale law professor. Michael J. Smith, the pilot of the Challenger astronaut, and also professor at University of Wisconsin, now retired Michael J. Smith. Commander Dick Scobie, who is now president of Cows and Trees. Now, if you'll notice, they all have the exact same faces 30 some odd years later, the same exact name, and they are the same age. Now, we all have a doppelganger out there, right? No big deal. But to have the same face, the same age, and the same exact name is extremely rare. So rare, I could only find one case in the last 120 years, and we're supposed to believe that 3 people from one spaceflight have exact lookalikes that have the same age and same exact names. This, ladies and gentlemen, is beyond statistically impossible. Ms. Resnick was questioned at Yale by a journalist, and she panicked and ran from the camera. Why? Mr. Michael J. Smith was also questioned, and he said, yeah, we look alike, but that's not me. You can see both of these exchanges in a film called Level with Me, and you can be the judge. Mr.
Sir,
Scobie
I'm going to have to
Sir,
stop
this is
you.
a public comment.
I know what it is, sir. I'm very familiar with the public comment.
Okay.
And part of the public comment is that you're only allowed to address things that we have jurisdiction over. We have no
I have a direct request at the end of this that is in your purview, sir, please. I do. Can we hold the time, please? I have a direct request that...
listen to me.
Okay.
Very carefully. Mr. Richardson, would you give an opinion in regards to this, please?
Yes, public comment is reserved for issues or topics that are under the jurisdiction or control of the county commission or that are relevant to the business of the county commission. So if your request at the end is going to explain why that falls into any of this, make that request now before you continue.
Absolutely. So as I was saying, I'll just end it with what I was ending with. But the ask is that Ms. Pritchett, who knows very well about questioning science, I'm just asking you all to question the science here. Your Goodson and Pritchett, your district covers the Kennedy Space Center. This launched from the Kennedy Space Center. You have the ability to help me in sounding the alarm and asking the federal government for help. If this is contained in your area, I should be able to at least address something that happened here. Don't you agree?
That's not within the jurisdiction or authority of the county commission.
Thank you very much.
Will you let me finish for at least 10
No,
seconds?
sir, you're finished. Thank you.
Thank you for taking away my freedom of speech today in here.
I did not take away your freedom of speech.
Yes, you did.
I don't want to hear it from you people down here.
Just because this is an uncomfortable topic.
Stop. Officers, please remove this man from the room.
You just violated the First Amendment.
I didn't violate the First Amendment.
No,
he violated the rules.
This is a limited public forum, and the meeting is for the purpose of the business of the county commission. It's not for this purpose.
Now, if you want to go too, take him out too. Officer, take him out also.
Everyone just calm down. They can leave willingly.
Wow.
No, we're leaving willingly. You don't have to remove us.
You just made a decision about NASA. You're making your decisions based. All right, well, you violated the First Amendment, my brother.
Thank you very much for your opinion.
Yeah, maybe check reading it out again.
These astronauts are alive, by the way. Look it up. You can't have 3 doppelgangers. You can't. Same face, same name, same age. It's impossible. Look it up. Statistically impossible.
On Point Behavioral Center's right down the street. That's where I suggest you go.
Just because you think this is a mental problem, I should still be able to talk. It's your opinion, sir.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Yeah, y'all have a good one. All right, take care. Thanks. As I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted and my First Amendment was violated during a public comment period here in Brevard County, I was saying that Mr. Scobie is the most interesting because not only does he have the same age, same face, same name, same slanted eye in the cheek if you look very closely, get this, he created a company called Cows and Trees, and the promo video has a cow blasting off strapped to a rocket, leaving a smoke trail eerily similar to that of the Challenger explosion. You couldn't make this up if you tried. That's why I today am calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to stand with me in demanding the Senate Subcommittee on Space Science open a new investigation into the Challenger explosion. Because if this is all one big coincidence, no big deal. But if it's true, people watch what they believe were 7 people blown up on live television, inflicting emotional and psychological trauma on millions of Americans. And we deserve to know why on earth something like that would be done. And like I was saying to Commissioner Pritchett and Commissioner Goodson, the only reason I'm back in here is because NASA ignored my last request and was completely unresponsive about the ISS discrepancies. I was blocked by the public affairs officer after one polite request. Commissioner Pritchett and Commissioner Goodson cover the area that contains the Kennedy Space Center. So I was just simply hoping that they would be able to help me in some way since it is their territory. I still thank them for their time, and I wish I was able to finish my speech, but we finished outside, and that's good enough. I hope we can get some transparency with NASA one way or another.
Now we gotta go ahead and applaud this man right here. He handled that like a grown-ass man. He handled that like an adult. Cause there's so many people who would not have, but how many, let me know if I'm tripping, or if you agree with me. How many of y'all hate the fact that when we get to speaking truth, not even just speaking truth, asking questions, how fast they shut us up. How fast they, sir, you can't say that. Sir, sir, sir. And then he just, so rudely though. Just rude. Who's the unprofessional one in that sense? Was it the person in power, or was it the person who was trying to just ask a question? And he said something too when other people start talking in the crowd. He said, "You people down there." I don't know if y'all caught that, but I caught that, and I pay attention to language. And when he said that, I was like, damn, you already dividing us up, bro. You putting yourself up here and over there. Like, come on, bro. How we gonna ever trust what you got to say if you're not even looking at it from our perspective? Or if you didn't even come from where we came from? That's crazy.
This story should be the biggest story in the entire world, but it's not. Oh, Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, had a journal that came out, it got leaked to the public, that said that her dad took showers with her and she felt like she was sexually abused. Media immediately played defense, but now reports are coming out that Ashley Biden herself says that the journal is real. How is this not the biggest story on the globe? It should be breaking news on every single platform that you could ever think of, ever. They should be talking about this on television, in newspapers, magazines, radio shows, podcasts, social media content of all kinds. It should be talked about right now. But it's as if it didn't even happen. Unless you're following a conservative type of news platform that really goes out of their way to make sure that you get the truth and doesn't just pull things from the mainstream media and talk about it, it's insane. All they want to do is talk about how someone stole it, not the actual content. It's insane. Now, as most abused victims, there's also things in the journal about her going to a halfway house and about her getting rehab. This video isn't specifically about this, but we also know about the Hunter Biden laptop. They immediately came out and said it's not real. And now Hunter himself has come out and said, yeah, it is real. And we know that he has a massive crack addiction and all those other issues that his life has put on the main screen. I'm no way saying that he's a victim. Just talk about the fact that a grown man is having showers with his teenage daughter. What is wrong with you people? If this doesn't finally wake you up, you're evil. That's it. No, that's it. That's what you are. Anyway, had to talk about this. Wake up. God bless you. Have a good day. Oh, and just to appease TikTok, this is all allegedly. It's all allegedly. It's allegedly. But if you guys take this down, you're a part of the problem. You are a part of the problem.
A lot of people don't talk about this, but prior to Biden's presidency, Obama was the most pro-Israeli president in U.S. history. And it's so important that we discuss this because oftentimes I see people of color, see other people of color in these high positions of power and think that this is a win for us. But in fact, it is indoctrination. Obama, despite the fact he did not have a good relationship with Netanyahu, he provided the most weapon sales and funding to the apartheid state of Israel in U.S. history. The reason that $3 billion of American taxpayer dollars goes to the apartheid state of Israel is because Obama signed this deal. $3 billion of U.S. taxpayer dollars goes annually to Israel because of Obama. He built them the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is what prevents missiles and rockets from entering Israel's atmosphere. It is so important to recognize that people of color in these high positions of power are participating in our own extermination and genocide. And it's so important that we start to take them off the pedestal. We need to recognize that it is people of color in these high positions of power that are participating in our oppression, in our genocide, in our extermination. This is Biden's press secretary. This is New York City's mayor. This is the U.S.'s Security Council, which vetoed every single ceasefire that was presented at the United Nations. This is another member of the U.S. Security Council that vetoed a ceasefire in Gaza. This is NYPD's first Latino commissioner. This is Columbia University's first Arab president. The greatest fear that lives in the hearts and minds of white supremacists is that if people of color are free, they will want to take revenge. Despite the fact that after colonization ended, apartheid ended, slavery ended, people of color have never taken revenge against white people. Even now, when they have the conversation, this is not true. But still, when white people see people of color moving to America, to Australia, to Canada, to Europe, They see this as a threat to their existence, because if they become outnumbered and they become the minority, then that means that people of color are now the majority, which means that they get to make the rules, and they will eventually want to take revenge against them. So what they do instead is that they put people of color in these high positions of power to create an illusion that progress is being made. But what in fact happens is that people of color are now the face of genocide, the face of extermination, the face of oppression, and it confuses us, right? But we are also participating in it because we put these people of color who made it on a pedestal, and we think, oh, this is a win for us. But if you just look at the NYPD and see all the people of color now in the NYPD, it makes it harder to say the NYPD is a racist organization, right? And the way that we are seeing these police beating the shit out of college students across America. These are not just white police officers. These are people of color. These are people of color in these police departments beating up students who are protesting, who are peacefully protesting against a genocide. I think one other thing that's important to also point out is that I see people of color who have been let down by the Democratic Party now looking at Trump like, hey, you know what? I'm now a MAGA supporter. And it's like, it's giving Stockholm syndrome. It's giving Stockholm syndrome that you think that you need a captor, you need a master. Where in fact there's an opportunity for us to actually have systematic change, for us to collectively have collective liberation for all of us. And people are like, oh, let's just vote Trump in because you know what, he's better than Biden right now. And it's like, how much more can we do of this? How much more of the lesser of two evils can we do? Don't we want a better future for ourselves, for our children? Neither parties are actually interested in us, in protecting us, in our progression. They don't care about us. And I think as people of color, it's so important for us to recognize and have it in our consciousness to know when we are being indoctrinated, when they're talking that sweet talk to us, because we are participating in our own oppression at this point.
Strong points. Last two clips, they both had strong points. But I always, like I said, right, left, they all the same. You gotta pick one of the lesser evils. That's how I feel it. That's how I feel it is. That's my opinion. But I know there's others who have their own opinion. I respect that. Just please respect mine as well. Let's be respectful here. Let's be adults about it. But how y'all feeling? Spam it up. Let me know. Y'all know we made it to the end of this, man. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with them 4 videos a week, man. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, it helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. And again, even if you ain't subbed up, even if you're not a part of the Collective, thank you still for being here. Thank you if you like this type of content. I still appreciate you. Love is mutual. I hope you having a smooth 7 as well. And I'm always gonna say that because you know I wish nothing but the best for everybody. And until I see y'all in the next one, man, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know